It's a good day to be a Volvo driver. It's a good day to be a Ford driver, as you can see at the front of the field for races 13, 14, round 7, Nurburgring sprint layout, World Super Touring car action for you uh, very, very shortly indeed. Alongside me, a very happy, alongside me, Adrian Michael Rees, an incredibly happy Michael Swinnerton. His protege is on the front row and on pole. What could be a serious shot for the championship, dare we say this soon?
I mean, I was going to say the same thing. It's we're getting towards the back half of the season now, so we've got to start thinking championship and getting things like pole position is it's a small thing, but it can end up being crucial. So yes, that is fantastic to see. But we've got Whitman there in 5th place, first rear-wheel drive car. She could leapfrog everybody and
Hmm.
propel herself even further up the order. We'll just have to wait and see.
Same for the BMWs. Refreshing to see Fords there. Uh, we thought they were kind of, if it ain't, well, if repeating the same thing doesn't get the different results, here they are, Polo P2, Salo P6, so they're going to be in with a shout as well. And the BMWs kind of know what to be in. Also, Bianchi, back of the pack, back row, 19th, so hopefully they'll get a good start as well. Definitely half a good start. Wittmann blocked by Lammers there, and into the lead, down the inside. Haukhagen, the tight hairpin. Polo leads. Lammers down the inside of Ingram as well.
Yeah, Ingram kept
Doesn't
a very
look
wide line there just to be safe and make sure he didn't get sent into the shadow realm with the gravel at turn 1.
a stealth. Jamie Webber up to 4th. We didn't see him in the long shot there. Salo down to 8th. Schneider up to 7th. Wittmann falling back to 6th somehow. Fisichella there 5th. One of the Cobra cars doing quite well. Back to reality for the DHL team, but leading the privateer field there. Ekstrom and Thompson have seen better days. And Bianchi, yes, 19th up to 14th, 5 places. Fantastic start. Also a fantastic start for Marco Kubica there, right in front. Michelin curve.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Ekstrom and Thompson. They started well within the top 10 and they're now struggling to stay inside the points. So some minor disaster may have happened there for them at turn 1, whether it just be bunching up in the traffic or foul play.
There's going to be a buzz around Detroit if Palou carries on any further into the F1 style chicane, NGK chicane, before the final turn. And what appears to be a nice clean getaway for everyone, except for the underperformers. Wirtz down to 9th after qualifying what appeared to be 4th. Donardi there. A buzz name around the paddock, it seems. Still no indicator of where he's going, but obviously actions like that are going to get you anywhere and everywhere. Whoop, and there's Hartley down the inside. Just ahead of Felix Freidel as well. Thompson starting to make a gain for it. As the midfield also start to spread out through the Mercedes arena.
Yeah, Hartley's another one who started towards the back. He's followed Bianchi up the order a little bit, and indeed swapped with his teammate. Dumas started what 11th, 12th. He's all the way down to 20th.
That did look like a front row start.
Bit of damage on his rear bumper, so
interesting.
Definitely some foul plays happened there.
Whilst it isn't pole position, I suppose privateer pole, I suppose. Alongside him was Zhu Sheng in the red flag Crown Athlete, which was a bit of a surprise. What might be interesting to see if the front of that Crown Athlete has the after effects of what happened to Dumas' Alpha backside. Here's Ingram then, still 3rd. Webber not chasing down, but Fisichella is chasing down Webber. We did see that down the inside for the NGKs. Curb hopping.
Be careful to not take up too much curb or push the other car off, but he does it cleanly.
And as you can see, apart from the 3 in front, these 4 are where they ought to be.
Yeah, Ingram's got himself a little bit of a breathing room, though Fisichella appears to be on a charge, so he's definitely going to be aware in his rearview mirrors of that. Meanwhile, it looks like Webber's going to lose another place to another Alfa Romeo as Wittmann on her home circuit. Sends it. Does a 2-for-1 offer.
Too much of a send. Don't send your teammate elsewhere. But yes, up to 4th. I wonder, not the most choreographed team order, perhaps, because Wittmann, well, in fact, Fisichella is ahead in the championship, ahead of Wittmann. Wittmann does need to get a stronger foothold with another 4 rounds to go after this. Maybe it was orchestrated, maybe not the best executed.
She's certainly not out of it. She's a ways behind everybody, down in 8th place in the title at the minute, but she does have that number 1 on her car for a reason and will want to defend it, and moves like that are only going to help.
And that means she's going to be chasing down Ingram. Ingram won't be happy with the green splat in his rearview mirror. Bernardi fantastically placed, but Wirtz there, right up close, and almost had to put the blocks on. Here's Kubica then down the inside of Hartley. Thompson on the inside of Rydell. Tamiya not making their parent company look too good. But there's Zhou Sheng. So let's have a look out the way of VX. Okay, so that's a clean front bumper for Zhou Sheng. So obviously, I was a bit quick to assume, apologies for that, that Dumas was foul victim to some inexperience from China.
It could have been any of them, really. And it's not necessarily anybody's fault either, because heavy braking zones around this track just kind of promote that sort of bumper car behaviour as everybody slows down for the corner and then gets caught out by each other, and everyone's in such close proximity with each other on lap 1. It's just bound to happen. Kubica, though, having a good run. He's had a bit of an up and down season so far in that car. They've had some decent finishes and some very forgettable finishes.
After a superb performance in the European M2 spec car, the former World Championship entry, stepping stone into like I say, it's just the only championship he's doing this season, so we'll expect to progress. If it is still within the BMW channels, it might be another shot in this car.
Well, I have heard rumours that there's going to be a BMW B team taking part for overall honours in the American Super Touring Championship when they go all one class next year. So I think I've heard Kubica's name as one of the potentials. I've also heard Schneider's name as one of the potentials for one of those cars. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Meanwhile,
That might be...
Wittmann wants a podium by the looks of things.
And is probably going to get it if Ingram's bottlenecking of the entire field is anything to go by, but that's well defended from the Brit. Well, maybe not, maybe not.
Everyone comes from a dead stop, apparently.
And then
Fisichella with the 2-for-1
Fisichella's got
offer.
it. So not only did I put my back foot right in that bucket, we've had some unprecedented action, not just for Wittmann, but for the other Alpha. And oh, careful, Alex.
A little bit too aggressive there. Oh, he's going to send it back on Kubica. That's not quite worked. He went deep into the corner, pushed Fisichella wide even. I don't know why I say
I'm wondering if that move by Wittmann had teed him off somewhat and was like, right, you're not having this, I'm getting it back. And boy, has he gotten it back. There is a gap there already.
Yeah, he in pushing Fisichella offline, it's caused that entire train of rear-wheel drive cars to sort of have to recollect themselves.
There's
Weber goes around the outside.
Salo on the outside of Schneider as well. Brief glimpse of that in the background. Foreground of that camera. That was a double around the outsider. Zanardi could be prepped to strike as well. Prepping up the back of that lead pack now. Palou and Lammers aren't getting that far away. Here comes Wirtz as well. Hartley, Kubica and Thompson now chasing as well. Ekstrom down still 16th. Bianchi, after a good start, has fallen back there. Tyre trouble perhaps. Palou still with the fastest lap. It is late afternoon. The temperatures should lead to a faster lap within the last 66% of this race. Okay, here we go. Fisichella with the aggression. Webber looking at this and preparing for P4. Examining that little shortcut of the full F1 layout. I nearly said the full circuit then, but we know there's a bigger one nearby.
Ingram now has just a large train of angry looking cars behind him. He's definitely better than the rest of the traffic in certain areas, but is struggling in other parts of the track. So we'll just have to see. I think it's the heavy braking zones that are really causing him issues. But here he is actually on the back of the top two.
And here is your potential podium. Palou and Lama still unchanged at the start, since the start. And Ford will want that to be the shot by lap 15.
Yeah, Ford have never quite been the top team in the series. They've managed to get the odd win here and there.
Webber with some aggression.
More bumper cars at turn one, as to be expected. Fisichella with a run out of nowhere.
Ingram with a sudden lack of power on the exit of Haugaken, turn one, but still defended from Fisichella.
Well, we've spoken before about how the Volvo is. Its one biggest weakness is tight, twisty, turny technical stuff, which might explain why Ekstrom's fallen so far back, and why they were so good at the Red Bull Ring, of course. Is they are essentially the new Golf in that regard, of lots of straight line speed. Can't really back it up in the corners as much, but Ingram is doing a good job to mitigate that.
In your second season, you still want to progress. I mean, positive start. Ingram's been in the season for this championship longer than that, so he's obviously, wow, okay. That's where that smoke was coming from. Previous lap was a wake up to the Dutchman in front.
Big bump draft going into the final chicane. Just getting a lot more momentum through that previous kink. Question is, can the Honda driver do anything about that extra momentum and try and take the fight to Palou in first? Going by this gap, apparently not.
And everyone taking a defensive line as possible before braking for turn one. Thou shalt not pass. And there goes Zanardi.
Getting himself up to 8th, and Hartley is up to 10th. So Wirtz is now outside the top 10. So if he wants pole position for race 2, he's going to have to get that back. But as it stands right now, Schneider will be on the front row.
Hartley's getting the hang of this World Super Touring thing then, because he's been there before, and he's been at the front before for races 1 or 2.
Especially as he qualified somewhere in the region of 18th place for this race, so he's definitely done a good job overtaking a fair few cars, including some works car outfits.
Very good job so far, but Zanardi, I mean, we're going to have to, after this race, just try and pop our ears somewhere, see what sticks, because this is, along with all the performances he's done so far, a work seat has to be surely next season in place by now.
Well, we know he's talking to a team. We still don't know whom, but given the BMW news,
Schneider,
it might be them.
Down the inside of Wirtz.
Yeah, Wirtz has got himself back up to 10, so he's got himself around Hartley somewhere.
Kubica looking to pounce as well. Thompson still not breaking into the top 12.
He's in the points though, which is better than Bianchi and Ekstrom.
There goes Thompson then. Inside for turn 1.
Hartley with a send. He's seen his works Alfa Romeo counterparts try the same thing. Apparently he can do it as well. They've got the same brakes.
It's still unchanged for your top three. Still unchanged for your fastest lap as we are almost mid-second half of race 1.
Ooh, Verts,
Uncertainty from Verts.
I don't know whether he
But
got
will
like
it
a
pay
wheel hop
off?
going on there into the braking zone. He's made the best of it. Not quite. There's that dreaded Renault wobble that I've talked about before.
Which is surprising because there's grip in them there outside lines in certain aspects.
Very true. There is a little bit of banking to some of the corners here, which allows you to keep up a little modicum of momentum. Wasn't to be for Verts this time round. He's taking all of the curb and more.
Hartley did the same. I wonder if Kubica's got... No, Kubica did the same thing too, I guess.
But as it stands right now, Verts would have pole for race 2. He'd have Schneider alongside him, who inevitably would get the better start because rear-wheel drive. But if Verts can get himself in clean air, we've already seen him win a good number of races this season. He's making a play for his second title. He wants to continue to be the only front-wheel drive champion and double it up. And be the only person to win in 2 different manufacturers.
Certainly. At risk then, I mean, if he's 10th, it's going to be locked in that he gets a decent performance in race 2 and therefore maintain his lead of the championship, which he's claimed since round 5.
Definitely better than Schneider on the brakes there. He can't quite do anything about it. And then I think this is where the BMW is better.
Yeah, I think Schneider's going to be the bigger winner out of the end of this race for a 2-in-1 whole shot for the start of race 2.
We still have a good 5 and a bit laps left to go, so this of course is all subject to change. But it's kind of pushing Schneider into the chicane. It's not a great exit because of it. Schneider's now got some breathing room. Fortunately, Verts still has breathing room between him and Hartley, so it's not like he has to worry about dropping down to 11th. We know the Renault is good in a straight line, so in theory, with a bit of slipstreaming help, he should be on the back bumper of that BMW pretty quickly.
Towards the end of the race we go. It is still Palou Dynamos from Ingram. The rear-wheel drive clan not too far behind. No major changes that we see just yet. Fisichella might have got ahead of Webber.
Two very different
varying lines.
We've seen it before with various teams and drivers, where some cars will just go searching around the racetrack and prefer different racing lines to others. The other big example I can think of is the Audi and Volkswagen teams in the Euros, where they took a lot more exit curb at Graham Hill Bend at Brands Hatch compared to a lot of cars.
Now Verts went purple, but I think that's going to be hampered by Schneider holding him up for the NGK chicane.
Is he going to push her through it again? Not this time. Doesn't take as much curb. Still does not get a great exit. The car does not want to change directions or shift its weight around as nicely as the Beamer in front. So he can get through the first apex of the chicane, but can't get it then flicked over to the other side to then take the apex of the second apex to get himself a good exit out of the corner.
And lost an entire second, more than a second, towards the end of it to try and beat Palou's fastest lap.
He still did a personal best, but yeah, definitely some time lost. again makes me wonder, come race 2, him in some clean air and way less traffic at least, means we might be looking at another Wurtz win. I'm just holding stations so far. Just clicking off the laps, I guess. Nobody's quite close enough to anybody else to have a go yet for any positions.
I suppose one of the major changes is Nardi is up to 8th. But we kind of had that earlier on. Positive gain on Wittmann though, and around the outside for Wurtz. Threatening it. It's happened. So Schneider with the provisional pole for race 2 then.
Still on the front row, still definitely a threat for a race 2 win. Sending it back on the Renault. Ooh, backs out of it a little bit.
Schneider knows that there's a better, well, a more likely scenario where she'll still be turn 1 at the start of race 2 and still happy to try and get 9th off of Wurtz, but that's defended, but braking area for Haukaken.
Still not done yet. The Renault won the drag race down the start-finish straight, but Schneider gets back in front because the BMW is better on its brakes. So all that work for nothing. Wurtz has got to do it all over again and then defend it properly this time. But running out of laps. I think Wurtz might have the speed to get himself up to maybe sort of 5th or 6th place, get himself into that Salo and Wittmann battle just in front of us. But he just needs to get past the 2 cars in front of him first. And he's not going to have enough time to do that anymore, I fear.
Zanardi in clean air. The threat to get 7th with 1 lap to go, perhaps. Very positive day for Zanardi in the Cobra Privateer Ford. Moreno kind of just stuck in the mid-pack, or potentially one of those stragglers further back that just rattling off the numbers, getting their prize money in.
I have a horrible feeling he is, because he was towards the back and he did qualify last. So I think they've got 1 car behaving and 1 car not, as it were. And I don't see the end of that train going down the start-finish straight there, because that was Dumac, the last car in line there.
And still nobody cracking Pelouse 36.32.
No one even close. Webber is the only one within the same second bracket. Everyone else is in the 37s. So I don't think that lap time is going to get chopped anytime soon, especially now everybody's got 14 lap old tyres.
And it is still unchanged in your top 3. Polo doing very well indeed to hold on to this lead. Lammers, strong result for race 1. Ingram has kind of been messing about with the volume controls of that car. Is either defending position from Alphas and BMWs, also threatening to get past Lammers in front, and we see it once again. There's the wake-up call. Salo up to 6th.
Yeah, he's got himself around the Alpha. So this is a very good day for Ford. This is, as I said, they've always been there or thereabouts. They've had up and down seasons. They've never quite been a championship threat or a front runner. But if they can try and engineer more weekends like this, that'll definitely give them some lower numbers on the doors of their cars.
It'll be the checkered flag after this one. Pelot tight to the apex. Lammers also at the apex. Ingram in a bid to try and get close to the Dutchman again. Lammers in front, and the top 5 are still very close with 1 lap to go.
Yeah, everyone's still just there or thereabouts. Not quite in dive bomb range. Heavy
I
braking
think
zones
Zanardi's
notwithstanding.
tyres have given up then if that P7 is going to be elusive for the privateer.
Still another top 10 though for the privateer. A rookie in a rookie team. It's still incredibly good going. And okay, we've come to sort of almost expect this now from the Italian, given his track record so far this season.
Wirtz trying to dance into the rearview mirror of Sophia Schneider's car.
He
Put
might be
her
able to
off.
do a around the outside maneuver again.
Blocked that time.
Not quite this. Not quite.
And the leaders exiting the NGK chicane. Tense maybe, stagnant definitely, but not tedious enough to signify the Fords, dare I say it, are back. Polo wins. Ingram up to second. We missed that. That was going into the NGK chicane, no doubt. Fisichella down to fifth behind Webber. In fact, we might have seen that earlier. Thompson's almost tied to P13 for bad luck. And there's the bulk of the field crossing the line. Moreno and Kobayashi. It's we'll have to have a word. We'll have to have a talk about Tamiya Honda either during or before race 2, because things they've realised how stale things have gone. But yes, exciting times ahead for the Ford team. Very exciting times ahead for Ingram. If that P2 leads to any better results with another 4 weekends of touring car action after this, Swinny.
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely going to be some shake-ups happening in the both the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors' Championship, because of course Ingram there with a very good podium run. All the rear-wheel drive cars solidly cracking out top 10 finishes, but Henri Bianchi, where was he all race? He's currently third in the Drivers' Championships, and you cannot be finishing 18th
Yeah.
place and starting in 18th place if you want to continue being third in the driver's title fight, let alone trying to actually win it. And even if you're out, being a bit higher up would pay dividends, because then you can help your teammate try and get the title for himself. So yeah, there's definitely going to have to be something happen at Renault, because the choke is happening. We don't want to see it a second time, but it is happening.
The choke for one car, maybe. Wirtz was hanging on there. I think individual performance from Zanardi, the rear-wheel drive performance of a certain inevitability, but obviously better performing individuals higher up, better performing teams higher up than Renault. It's not the same choke, but a choke is a choke nonetheless, and we worry. We do worry, but we'll have to see what happens after we've ventured forth into the fan base of the Tourenwagen universe over here, and in turn see where things lay for season 6 and where drivers are going to end up. Uh, will it be in the Worlds? Will it be Europe or America or even Japan? We shall try and give you more information before or during the reverse grid race round here in our next feed. On behalf of Michael Swinnerton, this is Adrian Michael Reese saying good racing, everyone. See you soon.